please welcome this week's special guest, Tony. All right, this is Tony Reese. Who is Tony to you?
This is Tony. It's good to see you again, Tony. He agreed to share a dressing room with me on a particularly busy Boxing Day sales.
All right. Susan, who is Tony to you?
This is Tony. He is a children's party magician and he made one of my children genuinely disappear.
Oh, my God, can I get your number, Tony? It's an unbelievable gift. Chris, who is Tony to you?
This is Tony. He no longer invites me to play cricket with him ever since my testicles made me a liability.
There we have it. Is Tony Reese's change room chum, Susan's masterful magician, or Chris's critical cricketer? Frank's team, do you want to start your questions to Rhys, maybe?
OK, so who was in the changing room first?
He was.
And then you, I'm assuming you took an outfit to the change room, and as you opened the door, was there a door or a curtain?
It was a curtain, and it was one of those situations where it wasn't quite... You know, like the frustrating thing where they just don't feel? Like,
Yes.
you want it to be like that, but thank you.
Yeah.
And it was quite dramatic. I was like, here we go. Whoa! And Tony did, to his credit, kind of was like, it's fine, you can just come in, and we shared the little room.
How long ago was this?
Like 4 years, I reckon.
And you just exchanged numbers and said, I need
so
you on
it
a
turns
game
out
show
he
in
works
4 years.
he's a television writer. And so we got, as we were, like, changing shirts and stuff like that, we got kind of chatting.
OK, so for me, the thing that's kind of... I'm struggling with is the fact that... Well, there's quite a bit, actually.
OK.
The first thing is that he said, come on in. Spacious change room. I had a bit of a problem with that. Mm-hmm. Then, come on in, and then you came on in. Like, wouldn't you...
I never said that I did that.
You did go into the change room with him. Wouldn't you just go, no?
To be honest, it was a point in my life where I was doing a little bit of, like, just say yes to the universe a little bit more.
What store was this?
It was Maya. And I am available for...
So did it...
You could say I only shop at Maya.
I don't know if this is unfair to Tony, but would you say that Tony had a hairy chest or more smooth?
It was like that kind of... Because I'm a surprisingly hairy person.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, is it weird if I...
surprising.
It is weird.
It is weird, yeah.
Oh, my God, Rhys!
Wow.
Yeah. I got some weird hormone problem going on there.
That
Felt
should
like
have
I-
been your story. I'm
Yeah.
Rhys Nicholson and I have a very hairy chest.
I just want to quickly... The dimensions of the change room, just quickly, in terms of...
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to get up and kind of show you? Like, I reckon from here to about, like...
Oh.
Okay. Does Maya have curtains, though?
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
All right. Let's move on to Susan, shall we? Susan, remind us of your connection with Tony again.
Tony is a children's party magician who made one of my kids genuinely disappear.
How did he make him disappear?
So we hired Tony as a magician and he was doing tricks and then he said, OK, I'm going to make the birthday boy disappear. And he obviously told our son beforehand, OK, so when I say this, you sort of scamper out here. And then, so he said, abracadabra, and our son was gone, and then he didn't come back.
So at that point, you must have been going like, in one way, I'm incredibly excited to discover that magic is real. But on the other hand, we've lost a child.
At first we thought, oh, it's part of the trick, it might be a bit funny, he'll bring him back later. And time went on, and time went on.
And
How much time?
After 2 hours...
2 hours. That's a commitment to a trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tony said, I've got to get to my next gig. Good luck. If the police need to speak to me, here's my card.
Oh, really?
After 2.5 hours, when my husband was on the phone to the police, because we actually thought something had gone wrong, was Tony dodgy, our son wandered in.
Your son walks in.
Yes, our son walked in.
And where had he been?
He had gone to the neighbour's tree house and fallen asleep. He thought he had to hide and he fell asleep.
How old was he?
4.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, I believe that could happen. But the fact that Tony just went on with the show for a 4-year-old, and at the end he was just like, yeah, sometimes they disappear.
Is Tony still working as a magician? Because if he is, that's a bit of an issue.
You can look him up in the yellow pages. It's Dodgy Tony.
I struggled to... Hello, Tony here. Oh, would I lie to you? Yeah. Appear on national television. You'll tell a good yarn about me, though, yeah? I feel like Tony's magic business is going downhill from this.
Yeah.
I'd be careful what you say, because Tony has powers. And then if you want to stay in that chair for the rest of the show, I'd shut your mouth.
That's the most ridiculous... Tony! It's just a game, Tony. Relax.
All right. Should we move
Yes,
on to
let's
Chris?
go.
Yeah.
This is Tony. He no longer invites me to play cricket with him ever since my testicles made me a liability.
Thought it had something to do with your testicles.
It always does with you.
Where do you want to start with, Chris?
The testicles.
Yes.
What's wrong with them?
Great question.
They're broadly okay now, but there was an incident where they weren't okay. And for the years that I was a cricketer, I couldn't play cricket because of my testicles.
Why?
But you wanted to play cricket.
Yeah.
They're too big, or did you have nut rot?
Essentially, there was a...
Stop showing off.
Instead of a box, you had to use a bike helmet.
I had a genuine injury to the testicle while playing cricket, where I got hit.
Yes.
So it wasn't safe for me to take the playing field because the equipment hadn't been made to protect my, let's now call it an eggplant-sized testicle. And it was also the same colour as an eggplant, roughly.
And we're going to look at them just here.
He's played a 5-day testing match.
And I'd imagine you probably had trouble going out to bat in a couple different ways, surely.
Yes. Yeah. Very hard to shop for briefs when you've got, like, there was a specific place I had to shop to get briefs that were big enough to accommodate...
Lowe's?
No, it wasn't Lowe's. No, it was called the Generous Gent. It's the name of a shop that sell large boxes. And so I had to wear those for 2 years.
Well, I'm sorry, 2 years you had a testicle the size of a huge watermelon.
Yeah. Yes, I'd say it got to watermelon size.
Why didn't you see someone about this overgrown zucchini in your pants?
I did. And they said it will just go down naturally. And it took 2 years. It is sort of gone down now.
Is it-
It's
they the
probably
same
the size
size?
of a kiwi fruit now.
Okay.
Which is still quite big.
It is
Yeah.
big. Can you stand up? You said you had a
not gonna
kiwi
get-
fruit
You
down there.
heard the woman.
Stand up.
I'm not going to get my testicle out.
What, are you wearing jeans? Are you wearing jeans?
Oh, yeah.
They look the same size to me. I didn't see a kiwi fruit in there.
They look the same size to me.
Well, like both sides of the jeans, I can't see more of a bulge on one side than the other
I'm getting
side.
very
Hang on, wait, where are
uncomfortable about
balls?
the
Are they-
objectification of men's testicles at this point.
Although balls are kind of under, aren't they? So
Yes.
maybe...
You
yeah.
tell me, you sound like the expert.
Frank's team, we are going to need an answer. Is Tony Reese's change room chum, Susan's masterful magician, or Chris's critical cricketer? What say you?
I know what I think. What are you thinking?
I'm not buying the balls, and I'm...
No.
No one's asking you to take them home with you.
I'm confused because, firstly, I don't think Maya has curtains,
Maya has everything.
but I kind of feel like Susan looked a little bit annoyed when she was, like, truthfully annoyed when she was telling the story, and I think he might be a magician.
OK, and Dane?
Very good logic. I love that. You had me at Myers. Don't have curtains. They have doors.
He
They
didn't
have
even-
no.
but
Level
he didn't
3, they
even-
sell curtains. It's-
But he didn't say which Maya.
I've got a vague
Have you been
memory of
to
going
every
to a
single
Maya that
Maya?
had curtains, so I'm a little bit...
I love the bit of Rhys's story that they're questioning is the curtain, not the fact he got inside a change room with a grown man, showed his orangutan chest,
Yeah.
and then swapped business cards and have been
All right.
colleagues ever since. That's all normal. But you're going, oh, there's no curtains at Maya, so it must be a lie.
Calm down, big nuts. Come on.
So what do you think, Dane?
I think it is Susan.
I think it's Susan.
I'm feeling it's Susan too, because I think just when you mentioned the idea of going to the tree house and then falling asleep, it just dropped in as being very believable to me. So we're going to say Susan.
All right, so we're going with Susan and the magician.
Yeah.
Tony, would you please, for the love of all that's good and holy, reveal your true identity?
My name's Tony, and I don't ask Chris to play cricket anymore because his testicles are a liability.
Keep the applause going for the brilliant Tony. So many questions. Thank you, Tony. Yes, it's true. Tony is Chris's critical cricketer.
And Chris has got a massive ball.